Hey guys, so today's video is going to be working on a Stihl BG55 blower. This blower was given to me a few years ago. It's featured in other videos as well. And so this past snowstorm, this is in the middle of January of 25, I was using it to blow snow with until the ice hit. And it worked, usually the blower works amazing for that, blowing off vehicles and stuff too. Then right in the middle of it starts flooding out. It wouldn't throttle up. So I bring it in here and start adjusting on it and adjusting on it. It won't do nothing. So you can either rebuild these type of carburetors or just throw another one on it. So I ordered this off of Amazon, and this is obviously an aftermarket replacement. It's not an actual Stihl product, and I am a Amazon affiliate. So if you need a carburetor for this, follow the link in the description, and it'll take you to this same carburetor, which is about $12. And the affiliate program, all it does is, first of all, it gives me an easy way to show you all the products that I'm using in a lot of my videos, and a little bit of and I get a real small commission, and it helps put money back into the channel for buying stuff like this for the videos, because I'm not made of money, and any way I can get help, it's a good way to help. So anyway, let's get on to taking it apart. This is the air filter cover, and the old air filter, which probably wasn't helping things, but even with it out, it still was flooding out and shooting gas out of the carburetor. So we come with a new, you can't beat this for 12 bucks. Like, the spark plug's not the best. CDK, better than nothing, you know. This is what I had in it, and it was fouled out. You can see how rich it was running. So let's go ahead and start taking some things off and see what we got to do. Probably not going to need this unless one of the fuel lines tears or something. It's getting plenty of fuel, so fuel filter is not an issue. We don't need the primer bulbs yet. It should last for a good long time. This is fully adjustable, just like the factory carburetor. So it does appear to be the same. So I'm just using a screwdriver with the big side of the tip removed, using it as a nut driver on these two nuts. It's usually your best way. You can also use a socket, but can't hardly get to that one. There we go. Take them off. The thing about most two-cycle carburetors like this are usually fairly easy to change for the most part once you get to it. There's a gasket that came out right here. A lot of times you'll have to take like a plastic off to get to it, but I don't know if we'll have to on this one. Just to slide off these studs. With the throttle's in the way. Right, let me figure out what I gotta do here. So I'm not seeing a way to get the throttle linkage to release, so I'm gonna take off this side of where the control trigger and everything is. Each model's different. I hate when you gotta do this because it usually messes up the springs and stuff. I don't see no other way to get to it, so we're just gonna tear into it like this. Get these screws out. I think I got them all out. This has got to come off too. You just have a few screws here, one here, and maybe one down here in this corner. I thought it looked too easy. You know how that goes. These screws are a little bit different than what comes out of the top piece. And you see how these are just flat, and this is like a built-in washer almost. You just have 3 screws, well, 4 screws. You just have 3 screws to hold that on. That's just goes up there like that. Now this is ready to come out, and we also got to take the spark plug out. That's why I hate working on things like this anymore. I put a new slug in it. It's just a cheap one that came with another one of these carburetor kits like this. That's also a good time to check for dirt and stuff inside the cooling fins. Alright, now we should be able to get this off. There we go. So now you can get right to the linkage. Take this piece off like this. Just let it slide off that pin. There, just like that. The spring's on the carburetor, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Then you can take this off. Then your whole carburetor come right off. I already unhooked the fuel lines. Did that off camera. You got one on the front and one towards the back. I'm going to make sure there's no splits or anything. That appears to be good. There's also another gasket here. Anytime I take a carburetor off like this, there's always gas inside it. If you prime it like that, you'll get all the residual gas out of it. There's only two reasons you want to do that. First of all, just to keep from spraying it on the ground or whatever. And just to get it out of the carburetor in case you need a part off of it for something else. We may eventually rebuild this, who knows. It's a Zama brand. The new one's just probably nothing. You probably don't even say anything on it. Nope. It's got a part number on it. It does appear to be the right one. You always want to verify that everything is the same on it. Even though this is new, you still have to adjust everything. This gasket appears to be alright, so we probably won't even change it. These are more like a reusable type compared to what comes in these kits. These like to stick, so next time you'll have an issue with it. So we're just going to put that back on and just reuse that gasket. As long as it don't tear, and especially when they come off like this, it's easy. You usually don't have to replace it. Now we're going to put the linkage back on the new carburetor. That way that'll be ready to put together here in a second. There we go. And again, since this gasket stayed intact, there's really no reason to not reuse it. Unless you just want to put all new stuff in, that's up to you. So now we got two extra gaskets. You don't always need to change gaskets. It's just good that these come with it because you never know when you're actually going to have to actually change it. So now you want to go ahead and get your fuel lines hooked back up. Slide it out just a little bit. Oops, lost the gasket. I need to put the fuel line on before. At least get it started, maybe. There we go. Back fuel line on, which usually this one it's easier to get to. Alright, so I got the fuel line up as far as it'll go. So now here's the fun part, testing the priming. It's priming better than the old carburetor did. Alright, so now you know you got your fuel lines right. Put this gasket back on that came off. Get that dirt off of it. Go ahead and stick this back on. This is the choke. How the choke works on this, it just blocks that air coming in. You can get replacement parts like this real cheap online too that are not actual steel, but and a lot of people ask me, do I recommend aftermarket parts like this? And the question is, my answer is yes and no. like for certain things, it's the only way to go. But if you're someone that, you know, likes to have brand name stuff, I would recommend to pay a little bit more and get the actual replacement parts. But for the most part, you can usually get by with it and save you a lot of money, because this same carburetor would probably be at least $50 to $70 if you went to an actual Stihl parts dealer. But again, if it's what you want, it's fine. And if you're doing a repair for somebody, always give them an option. That way, you know, nothing's going to come back on you. Because if you do this and tell them it's an actual Stihl carburetor, and they find out it's not, you know, it's obviously not good. You know, so you always want to be honest with your customer. This is my own, so I'm being honest with myself. I can never remember how the linkages go back on these things. This one here is way easier because the spring is on the carburetor. It uses the spring return on the carburetor. A lot of them will have a coil spring up here. There we go. Make sure it works. Now we can put everything back on. I'll do this off camera just to speed the video up. Alright, so get all the covers put back on. Air filter goes in one way like this, with the foamy part out. Just like that. And this air filter just pops back in, but I gotta clean it first. So it goes on, goes into two things like that, and then you just snap it in. Not much really holds it on. Alright, so we're ready for a test start. Like I said, it's already primed up. And a very rare chance of it not needing adjusted. It hit the first time. And in theory, it should start without having to do anything. Alright guys, I think we're good to go. It didn't take much adjustment. I was adjusting it there and I didn't know the choke was still on there at one point. So that was my mistake on that. I was just using the end of a screwdriver. It's just a straight drive on there. And the idle speed adjustment's back here, but just about right. So hopefully it holds up. These cheaper parts are hit or miss, but I've had pretty good, decent luck with the carburetors. You may have to adjust it after it settles in some. But also cleaned and put the NGK plug back in it too. And before we end the video, after we get this thing running, you see, I made a quick reference to it when I was talking about this carburetor, how I'm an Amazon affiliate. I've always said I would never do something like that, and never have until now. And I've always used Amazon for parts, especially if I need something fast. It's just cheaper and faster to get parts in. So the other day I was thinking, why not check into it to see what all's involved with becoming an affiliate or associate or influencer, whatever they call it. I always just call it affiliate, because you always see affiliate links and stuff. And honestly, the only person that's going to be benefiting from it is going to be you, because I'm going to be giving you a direct link to parts and supplies that's linked that I use in the video in the description, and a link to the storefront. That way if you see some things that I'm using that you know come from Amazon, if I mentioned it, it'll be easy for you to find. I do get a slight commission from it, which is usually 3% average on everything, so it's not like I'm getting rich off of it. And the money I do get from it will be used for buying parts and supplies for the channel. There's always something I need to buy to make videos on, like this carburetor, for example. Even though it's just 12 bucks, but I'm not rich. But yeah, I just want you to understand that we're not going to be making commercials on these videos, but I am from time to time going to say, yeah, this part or this tool came from Amazon, and there's an Amazon affiliate link below for it, and a link to the storefront. That's basically all I'm going to say, and it's just to help you guys find a part cheap, and like I said, it's going to benefit the channel, put money back into it. I hope you guys understand. I don't want to do anything to make anybody mad, or I don't want to lose any subscribers over it, because it's really not going to change anything, because I always reference parts and tools and stuff on Amazon, at least for prices and stuff. So please bear with me and understand that I'm trying to help you and help the channel by doing this. So I hope you understand. I hope you support me on this. If you don't, I understand it. But I just want you to know that it's not going to be commercialized. Like, there's not going to be commercials or advertisements or anything like that. I do have to say when I provide an affiliate link that I am an affiliate, and there's a link in the description for the product that I was talking about. So I just hope you understand what I'm doing with this, and if it is a big issue, we'll drop it and not do it. But I just thought we'd try it and hopefully help you guys out and help the channel out as well. So thanks for understanding, and a quick note right here where I talk about the storefront on Amazon. It makes it sound like you're buying products from me, but you're not. You're still buying it just like you would normally on Amazon. You just have a separate link to a product. So all the sales go to Amazon or the seller on Amazon, but I will get a slight commission from it. Like I said, all that will be put back into the channel. So, alright guys, this video is a little longer than I thought it would be. I went into a little bit more detail than I probably should have on getting to the carburetor. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next video.